Welcome back, folks, to our sweat tank report. Yes, once again we have the desk, the nice chair, goes in, goes out, in, all around. Very nice. Well, let's start off. NCAA tournament once again tomorrow night, Friday night. Very exciting games. Should be another couple great nights of basketball. You don't even have to take off work this week. Games don't start till 6. You got games on CBS and TBS. Watch Florida Gulf Coast against Florida. Interesting game. You gotta love Florida Gulf Coast coach. A lot of confidence, and a guy who kind of goofy looking, married a supermodel. That's a guy that's gonna be able to get recruits. And if you're Florida Gulf Coast, sign that man up. Don't let him go. Minnesota and UCLA are looking for jobs. Wichita State's coach, he may be Greg Marshall, might be up for one of those jobs. But speaking of Minnesota and UCLA, how do you fire your coaches? I understand a little bit about the Greg Holland story, about how he's not been recruiting very well in Los Angeles, getting the Southern California kids. You went to 3 Final Fours in a row. You went to the NCAA tournament again this year, won the Pac-12 conference. How do you fire a coach doing that? Coaching has gotten ridiculous these days. I know UCLA are used to winning national championships, but this man took you to 3 Final Fours in a row. Maybe he did ostracize a few people in Southern California he did take away a scholarship from a kid who didn't develop like he thought he would. You know what? Kids all the time decommit from schools. Why isn't the school allowed to decommit from the kid if he doesn't develop the way he should? I know that angers AAU coaches in basketball, angers high school coaches, but these kids flip-flop all the time. There's kids, especially in football, and even in basketball, they flip 3, 4, 5 different schools in a recruiting period, get to school, and then transfer the next year. Gunnar Kiel, Notre Dame, 4 or 5 different commitments, and then leaves Notre Dame after a year because there's competition. Unbelievable. I want to know what kind of value some of you parents out there are instilling in your children. When you make a decision, stick with it. I understand if a coaching staff changes, that's one thing. A guy that was recruiting you, he leaves, gets fired, goes to another job, that's a little bit different. But when you commit to a school, you're not just committing to one man, you're committing to the whole school. Now I understand you people get hot about the fact that a school decommits from a kid. Well, you give a guy a scholarship offer when he's a sophomore or a junior. Now if he gets hurt, that's one thing. To me, that's scumbaggy of the school. And that, yes, that is a word now, scumbaggy. The school should not do that. If the kid gets hurt, honor the scholarship. You gave it to him, honor it. But that kid doesn't develop, doesn't show hustle, doesn't show poise, doesn't keep working hard, getting good grades, doing the things in and out of the classroom he needs to and on the court or on the field. Hey, that's fine with me. That kid doesn't deserve a scholarship, then he should have kept working hard for his scholarship. So I have no problem with what Mr. Holland did. He took away a scholarship from a kid that you didn't think was working hard enough. Kid, you should have worked hard enough. And that goes for all of you out there that are getting offers as sophomores and juniors. Work hard that junior and senior season. Keep your scholarships, earn them. Now, Tubby Smith in Minnesota. I don't know what Minnesota expects. I don't really know the backstory, maybe what's going on in Minnesota. Maybe there's more there than meets the eye. But a guy that is continually going to the NCAA tournament, I know he didn't have a great record in the Big Ten. The Big Ten is a premier conference. But Minnesota, you have to realize, you're Minnesota. He's getting into the NCAA tournament. He got to the second round this year. He's recruiting decently, but it's hard to recruit in Minnesota. There's not a whole lot of talented basketball kids that want to go to Minnesota. Tubby Smith does a wonderful job of coaching these kids. And I don't know what the administration there expects. You're going to the NCAA tournament. You're not going to win the Big Ten. Face it, Minnesota, you're not Indiana. You're not Michigan. You're not Michigan State. You're not Ohio State. You're not Illinois. You're Iowa. You're not Wisconsin. You have to live with the fact of where you are. Yes, do you want to go to the Elite 8, Sweet 16, maybe contend for a Big Ten title? It's possible, but it's not going to happen year in and year out. You might be able to hit that 12-6 mark, possibly in the Big Ten, once in a great while, but you are Minnesota. You are not Kentucky. You're not Indiana. You're not Georgetown, even though Georgetown lost in the first round of the tournament. These are the schools that are going to get big-time kids. But you have to remember, Minnesota, with big-time kids, look what happened in Kentucky. 6 of them leave after a year or two. Now, Kentucky's revamping next year. Got 5 or 6 of the top 20 kids in the nation coming in, supposed in recruiting rankings. How long are those kids going to stick around? I bet there's no more than one of them around after their sophomore years. Whether they're in Kentucky, they've transferred, or they're all in the NBA. That is the life of college basketball these days, and that's something that needs to be changed. I think they should go to the baseball rule that if you don't go right after high school, you have to spend 3 years in college. It gets to be ridiculous for college coaches and college fans and the schools. You just going for 1 year. What's the use of going to school for 1 year? What do you really learn? You get a couple of your basic classes out of the way. You know, if you know this kid's going to go to the NBA, what you need to do is take 2 full semesters and teach these kids money management and marketing and things, and learning how to, you know, spend their money, save their money, you know, put their money away. Money management, definitely. And then facing the media. That's the classes they need to take. If you think these kids are one and done, these are the classes you need to put them in. Don't worry about what their major is going to be, because they're never going to graduate anyway, because who cares about graduating when you just signed a $5 to $10 to $20 million a year contract? You don't need to graduate. You can go back anytime you want to. Heck, you can probably buy some of these colleges by the time these kids are done playing NBA basketball. But now, then we go back to the Miami Heat. Let's talk about pro basketball. Miami Heat tonight, Chicago Bulls at the United Center. Can the Bulls end the streak? I'm going to say no. Just for the simple fact the Bulls have not been playing well at home. They lost to Portland at home about a couple nights ago. They did come bounce back to beat Minnesota. I just don't think they have what it takes to beat the Miami Heat. Dwayne Wade says he's going to try to go tonight. Hopefully that knee holds up. But do the Heat really need him? They don't need a 50% Dwayne Wade. They're going to need Dwayne Wade 100% when they get to the playoffs and have to play the New York Knicks and the physical Indiana Pacers. So don't rush back Dwayne Wade if you're not 100% ready. Not for a game with the Bulls and not to keep the streak alive. The streak is not... People remember the streak if you pass it, but the streak's not going to be remembered if you do not win the NBA championship. That is the most important thing. The championship is number one. Now, in the Western Conference is great. It's loaded. Can the Lakers stay above Utah? 1 game above Utah right now. I say the Lakers get in. They don't want to get, I don't know if they want to be the 8th seed, but yeah, they probably want to be the 8th seed over being the 7th seed. You'd rather play San Antonio, an aging San Antonio, over the youthful, athletic, exciting Oklahoma City Thunder. So maybe that's where the Lakers want to be, but they better hold on because Utah's right there knocking at the door. The Lakers have to figure out a way to win with Nash, Howard, Gasol, and Kobe all in the same lineup at one time. For some reason, they struggle when you have 4 stars in the lineup. Maybe it's just because there's not enough balls to go around. But hey, guys, y'all can play defense. Defense is the key to winning championships. Not everyone getting the ball, but you need to spread it around on offense. No one can fight about who gets the ball. Dwight Howard, I think he's fallen in, knows his role. Get the rebounds. Get the ball to the scorer. Steve Nash, distribute the ball to Kobe. Powell, you need to do the dirty work. Let Kobe take the big shots, but Kobe's got to distribute the ball a little bit around. Metta World Peace hurting his knee is not going to help things. But you got good players on the bench that can come off and give you some good minutes. So you've got to get the ball to everybody spread around. Kobe doesn't need to take 20 shots a night or 25 shots a night. Kobe needs to take about 15 to 18 shots a night. Get the ball into Dwight Howard. I know he's not a great foul shooter, but get the ball inside to Dwight Howard. Get the other team in foul trouble that way. The NBA is coming down to the end, folks. Enjoy it. College basketball, you've got, tomorrow, Friday night. You got Saturday, Sunday. Sunday's Easter, so happy Easter, everybody. I'll do it. There'll be another cast here, podcast, whatever you want to call this, YouTube show. There'll be another one before that. I'll probably do one Friday. Might even do one tomorrow, but we'll see. One last thing, Monday Night Raw. Much better effort this week. Getting the Ryback, Mark Henry thing going. I have a feeling this is going to be a little bit better than what a lot of people think. And the weightlifting contest on SmackDown Friday should be interesting. You got 2 big, strong guys. Just another way to further what is going on. CM Punk, Undertaker. I don't know if you guys are really pushing anything any better. You could have just announced the match. Some of the stuff with the urn just isn't there. Undertaker, though, looked in very good shape. Looked good. I think it's going to be a great match at WrestleMania. Triple H, Brock Lesnar, you didn't really do anything. Triple H coming out just saying, I'm going to kick his rear end. Well, we already knew you were going to do that. You didn't really do much of anything. The Rock, John Cena, I didn't think that segment was going to go as well as it did. Very nice segment. Very nice talking. You had the legends there. You had Cena. You had Rock answering questions. I think it furthered things just a little bit going into WrestleMania. WrestleMania is going to be an incredible event. Now, the one thing I plead with you, please, WWE, not so much crap in between the matches. A lot of these guys are wrestling. You've got 9 matches on the card, and you have 4 hours to do it in. Manage your time. We don't need 27 rock concerts going on in between there. We don't need all this special stuff leading up to this, leading up to that. Let the guys wrestle. We don't need as much time on the back feuds and the backstory and this and that. Get them in the ring. Let them go. Let them do what they do. Entertain us. Allow them to have the best matches they can. None of this 18-second stuff. None of this 4 or 5 minute stuff. Do not cheat us at WrestleMania like you do every once in a while. Let's say with Daniel Bryan and Sheamus. You don't need to cheat us. It is the greatest night in sports entertainment, and that's what it needs to be. It's a showcase of the immortals. Let these guys show off what they can do. Now, we'll see you later this week. Thanks again for watching the Sweat Pant Report.